obviously it was a little bit of a tough night, not the way we drew it up. But, like I just told the team, not to let it take away from what they've done this year and really what this upperclassmen group has done in the last 3 and 4 years, just committing and really building a program that they can be really proud of, I think. When you look at the season that they've had, going from game one, facing some adversity and just continuing to grow throughout the season and really peaking at what I thought was the right time. We had a great week together this week, and just unfortunate that we came short tonight. Weddington's a great team. They made some great plays. We made some mistakes, and you got to play about mistake-free football in the state championship. We knew that coming out, and we just didn't get that done tonight.
Say questions.
Questions for me?
Go ahead first. Either way is fine.
Hudson, obviously unfortunate circumstances tonight, but I don't know if you know, but you did break the single season passing record at Hoggard on that final drive. So what can you maybe just say about that record and what that'll mean to you going forward, and just this season as a whole, especially with what you dealt with last year, to come back and be able to play at this high of a level?
Yes, sir. I mean, that's great, but I couldn't attribute that more to my team than myself. I mean, I've been set up by coaches, linemen, receivers, just helping me make plays as well. And to me, I mean, it's not the end of me one, of course, but to make it back from last year with all the adversity we had, it's definitely a great feeling, and just feel very accomplishing feeling.
Hudson, last week you have that touchdown run. Today you show off the wheels again. I told you in practice that I don't think maybe a lot of people give you credit for your speed, and you showed it here today. Can you tell us a little bit about that play and just, obviously not the result you wanted, but the great play there?
I mean, it's just coaches and players setting me up again for success. I mean, all you have to do is just read the hole and go. So, I mean yeah, it's not really me, it's on my team.
You were making some really nice throws in that really long drive that ended with that 6 interceptions. What do you see on that play?
It's just cloudy. Probably should have thrown that ball. Great play by them.
One of the storylines from this year, one of the biggest senior classes, I think most reported probably I've ever seen in the school, 39 of 85 players. Just, try to sum up again all of that class has meant to you, to the team, to the program, and what it will mean going forward.
It's been the world to me. I mean, I wouldn't trade our group for any other team in the state or the country. I mean, I've had such a great time this year. All the memories just irreplaceable.
Coach, one of the more remarkable seasons for Hoggard football. Obviously, a lot of really proud moments for you. Can you just talk to us about how proud you were of this run from this group?
Yeah, I mean, when you get into coaching, it was funny, I had a lot of questions just this week, that made me reflect back over, just my time at Hoggard since 2006 and just I guess the progression from assistant coach, head coach, all that. But it makes you reflect on each team, and each team is special. But this group of seniors and this group of rising juniors, or juniors rising seniors as well, it's just been so fun to coach. They've been a group that, the practice energy, one of the things we really challenge is to be a player-led team. And I think a lot of that is how do you practice? And they're a group that, I would come out to practice and, they're already out there and they're cutting up and they just had fun playing together. So, again, you hate to see it come to an end this way, but I can say I'm going to look back on this season for a long time as one that was just a really, just a great thrill in it.
Kamar, you're going to be one of the only players coming back next year that's got a ton of playing experience. What do you take away from tonight, and how are you going to try and use it as a propeller moving forward to maybe 365 if you guys can do this again?
Just gotta focus, gotta be a better leader next year. All the opportunities and stuff.
Kamar, defensively, obviously not the result you guys want tonight, but this season, I mean, it's just been a great year for you guys defensively. If you just look through the stats from the playoffs, a tremendous year for the unit. Tell us a little bit about what that's been like for you this year.
It's been great for me. Playing with great opponents and stuff. I helped us out a lot with some people to get pressure, tell some actually stuff like that. It's all
Kamar and Hudson, if each of you could sum up what you're going to take away from this season overall. What are you going to take away from this season overall in your experience? And that's it.
I think it's all been great relationships, all been great memories. Just a very special group ahead.
Hudson, how long do you think it will take for you guys to really reflect on what you were able to do this season? I mean, the school started playing football in 1967. 2 teams have made it to a state championship game. You guys are one of those 2 teams that were able to do it. So as much as this stings now, when do you think maybe that you'll really be able to appreciate the accomplishments that this team had?
Yeah, of course this is going to hurt for a little bit, but we have had a great year. A great run in the playoffs and the regular season, so definitely accomplished a lot. Didn't get to finish the way we wanted to, but definitely accomplished a lot.
Hey, state champions for 2023. Coach, if you would open us up with a opening statement.
Yeah, appreciate all your support and the coverage of these guys throughout the season. Been a special group, a group that we're going to miss a lot. Tyler over there and Keenan, we get Aiden back for a couple more years, but really a special group from the get-go. Ups and downs, but I didn't have a doubt we could be here at the end, and we're excited. And man, they put on a show. They put on a show tonight.
We'll take questions.
Tyler, you had the earlier reception, but after that, it really turned on really accurate down the stretch. What allowed you to kind of overcome that? Just kind of get right back.
Yeah, it's kind of what that's what our coaches in Pittsburgh has preached like all 4 years of high school. So it's kind of just it comes naturally now. So and big moments kind of step up.
Are you ever surprised when he don't get them down to jump ball?
More surprised if he doesn't than that. I mean, I kind of just I don't even have to look anymore. I kind of just assume that he's coming down with it. So.
Hey, one of the major plays in this game was block punt. Number one, what if you talked on the sidelines about to attack that and you kind of going over the top one handed? And then also how are you feeling when you fell? It looked pretty painful there for a little bit.
Yeah, my back was hurting for a little while. Man, I wasn't supposed to go, but I told Coach, I said I can get there. He said, okay, if you get there, just make sure you get your hand up. So when I got up, I put the hand up and flipped. I got up, my back was hurting.
The interception he had earlier was an unbelievable play too. Just athleticism out the roof.
Coming in, did you envision you could have a game like you had tonight? I mean, you really were the entire offense there at the start of the game. I mean, strip fumble, you run into the end zone, and tiptoe what seemed like 15, 20 yards down the sideline on that touchdown pass. So what were you, feeling coming into the game? Did you ever see yourself having a game like tonight?
Yeah, our coaches, preached us the vision. Ourselves making big plays in big time games. So it's all big time players make big time plays in big time games. So I was just looking for any opportunity to step up on this team to win state championship. I'm just grateful that he keeps kept putting the ball on the money, and I was just able to do it.
Coach, how would you summarize, kind of compare this year's group? First one's the win on the 4A level. I suppose that won the 3AA level in the past.
Yeah, man, that's tough on me. I think athletically, we're very equal. I mean, obviously we have the top guys like, Will, who's obviously, who Will is, Malik going in the league. But, I thought in the trenches we were just as good, and I think we really came on up front. And, I'm just blessed to be a part of both. Everybody did it a special way. And they ended up, doing it undefeated, and this group had to, we didn't have to, but we took a couple losses, but they kept fighting, they kept persevering. So both groups are special to me, obviously, and this one's going to be special for me. forever. It's just a great group. We just started getting the run game going late in the year, so we were very dynamic on both offensively and what Coach Hall does defensively, being able to move Aiden and Drew and all of them around just speaks for itself. So it's just a complete team in all phases, I believe.
Coach, you
go.
one thing to win a state championship, but to do it in the way that you guys did it tonight was pretty remarkable. I mean, this is a team that just hasn't had one of these games. Hoggard hasn't had one of these games this year. You guys really took it to them on every phase. What does that say about this program?
I think we just put more of an emphasis on all three phases this week. Extra day, they were really good on special teams, so we felt like if we could take away some of their special teams and what they do, make a big difference. And I thought we won that phase. So it just shows how much of big time players they are. We don't practice great, in the week, and I'll be not afraid to say it. If anybody wants to come watch us practice, come on, but you'll walk away and be like, well, what? But I know this every Friday or Saturday night, these kids play hard, they play extremely hard, and they believe in each other and what we do, and I think that's really the ultimate thing. So.
You were mentioning learning from losses.
Yeah.
And a lot of state champs will lose early in the year, go on a run. You guys get a little bit of both, right?
Yeah.
First week, second week, I guess, and last week of the regular season. And that was kind of an upset. You looking back, what did you guys gain from that? How did it fine-tune everything to make this run what it was?
Maybe down the road, I'll talk about what happened in Marvin Week, and that's no slight on Marvin Ridge. They played us extremely well, but it was kind of a crazy week for Weddington football, and I just think we just kind of had to reset after that. We go in, we're not in one seed anymore, but yeah, we still are. So when a high school team puts it back out, they were still the one, and I was like, man, but it goes back to playing, what they said, RPI is RPI, and we put these kids through tough. We put these kids through challenges, and credit to Butler, they're right there in the end too. We didn't play our best, and they played a better game than we did on that night, and we just kept looking at the side of the bracket and saying we're going to get a chance at them again. But I hope you learn from losses. I like to find a way to learn from wins too, and try and get those losses out of there. But yeah, these guys just come back and respond to any adversity, to anything that they get put through.
Coach, obviously you lose these two guys,
Yeah.
but you mentioned some of the returners.
Yeah.
You got a lot of guys coming back that it doesn't seem like the Weddington run is over. You're talking about Nick, obviously Aiden here. So just talk about some of those key guys you got returning next year and just how this run can continue.
Yeah, obviously we got, the twins and TJ, and Braden Barger's played unbelievable coming back, and Caleb, and just the deep guys. I think the big thing is figuring out up front. We lose 4 stars on the offensive line, but really an underrated group. I put Logan Post up there against anybody as an offensive lineman, 6'1" or not, he can play. And I'll stand on that, and what those guys did is unbelievable. And obviously having Nick back, and we're gonna have big shoes to fill. But every year there's a different challenge, and I think after this one sinks in and we take a little break, our staff will get going and get ready for it. But these kids deserve a lot of time off, and I don't want to look into that too far. I just want to let this sink in. But it's gonna be tough for us. It's not gonna get any easier, and that's gonna be the biggest thing. And but I do think we got a great core to come back to continue to do what we've been doing.
For Keenan and Tyler, for just 1 year, 1 offseason together, kind of chemistry you guys had is outstanding. For both of you, what was the key to that? How did you guys kind of approach that? How did you guys get to where you are today, where you just have this kind of connection that you look like you've been here for 4 years, right? So what happened?
Really just a lot of days in the summer. In summer and spring, just going to the fields, just getting working. Whether it was me and him or me and some other receivers, we just knew that we didn't have that long history of middle school, high school playing together. We knew we had a short clock, and we knew we had a big goal line, so we had to do a lot of work in about the days, just throwing, catching, and now I'm coming up my break, and I know exactly where the ball's going to be right there in my chest, perfect time, and it's straight for the
People ask me all the time, when do you guys get started back in the spring? And I say during spring practice, and they're like, no, we don't. We lift, we do our speed and agility, We're going to learn football a little bit better as a team of classroom sessions. Those guys do it on their own. Twice a week, Tyler had throwing sessions that me and Coach Smith didn't even really know about. They just go out to the turf and throw. And that's what makes, I guess, who we are. And all the extra work that they put in on their own for the betterment of not only the team, but themselves as well. You know, and I mean, honestly, like as coaches, after school we play ping pong. So we're going to get the table back out next week. You know, we're going to start running some ping pong. Anybody wants to stop by and play, we get pretty good. But, I mean, when you go, all the linemen are out there working on steps, hitting the sled. All of them are doing all that work. I mean, they're going to train on the weekend. That's what makes those kids who they are in this group who it was. You know, and for us, it was just continuing to build off what they've done in the spring and into the summer, and you know, gel as well.
Keenan, can you talk about your football journey? I think ball boy on the Monroe sidelines to Cuthbertson.
What were those glasses either two he was wearing?
Respect, man.
And then in your senior year coming to Weddington. Just talk about that decision and the journey overall.
Oh yeah, man, it's full circle moment. You know, I was a ball boy in the Monroe sidelines. They were here, won the state championship, NC State. You know, I remember that day pretty clearly, and seeing the excitement that I felt, and ever since then, really, it was just very, you know, coming back and just playing the state championship with the state of Carolina. You know, just that feeling, that excitement. It was just something that I knew I wanted to be a part of, and I'm just grateful that I was able to go out there and do it, man. I'm grateful for the way that the Weddington family has took me in since day one, since I got here, man. It's been great. You know, just hit the ground running, had some things that worked out. You know, obviously when I got here, but you know, we worked through all the wrinkles, build great relationships, man. I look forward to life.
Tyler, to get back to the game for just 1 second, you throw that interception. What was the mentality going in after that?
Yes, it's next play. Like, you can't let that go. As much as I want to, you just have to go to the next play, especially in these big situations. You can't let that. You can't let that guys out. You can't let that.
Let me just talk on Tyler, and maybe I'll get in trouble, and he might not want to know. This dude's played with an AC joint sprain in his thumb shoulder since the end of the Chambers game, and no one really knows about it. He's as tough as they come. He took a hit on a run against Chambers, come down, says, I can't throw, threw a 55-yard pass after that, and then came off and said, I really can't throw. So, you know, we got our run game going round 3 against Catholic because we had to. And if you had watched Budge during warm-ups against Catholic, he would have told you, I don't know if I can go. Each week he got stronger and stronger. It's just a pain tolerance thing. And, he had a great week of practice, but I know there's a lot of good quarterbacks in North Carolina, man. They ain't no tougher than him. And as talented as he is, and you might not look at, you know, with the hair and all that, he's a tough son of a gun when it comes on the field. You know, and so if I spilled the beans, Tyler, that people don't know about your injury, we did a pretty good job of keeping it hush-hush. But, you know, he's as tough as they come. So, yeah, we got a run game going because we kind of had to, but it helped us. But we needed him tonight in a big moment, and he was out there ready to go. So I'd never take anything away from how tough he is and kind of what he went through, you know, those 3 weeks in the stretch runs, you know, with Catholic and then Grimsley on the horizon, Independence. I mean, we didn't throw Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a couple of those weeks. So for us, it was like, all right, you know, and they kind of put a full week together last week, but you could tell they were a little off with timing. So I think he knew he was going to fight through some pain this week, and, you know, that's kind of one of the reasons why he's not going to play in the Shrine Bowl. But he's all deserving of the Shrine Bowl, and, you know, you can't ever take that away from him, his toughness. And Georgia Southern's going to get a great one in 4 weeks.
Well, based on that knowledge in Tyler, I think what's most impressive then, obviously Diamond and Ritter took over, but I would argue you had some of the biggest impactful runs during that stretch, setting up big runs for them. How did your arm and your joint sustain? How did it manage from game to game getting hit?
It's interesting. I don't know the science exactly, but all I know is it's really just, and I think it's like an injury that really can affect the quarterback as much as, I mean, but that just like gave him off
Just hurt when he released it. So, you know, if he let one rip, we'd have to run it a couple times. But he was going to impact the game one way or the other, and you know, he just did it with his legs for a few weeks.
Andy, just one on the you've got 4 state titles, this program, 4 state titles in 8 seasons. You care to weigh in? I know back home a lot of people are talking about Weddington's historical rank among Charlotte teams. Care to weigh in on that?
Does Charlotte want to accept that? We like Union County. This special group, man, what Tim Carson built was unbelievable. Playing for the man at Sun Valley and then being able to coach with him. And, you know, when he left, it was left with 4 seniors that year. So coming back, we had everybody coming back, and you know, people believed in this group and believed in what we did. And you can't win without great athletes, and we've been surrounded by them. You go look at the wall right outside our office. There's 25, 30 kids up there playing college football or played college football, and we're going to have 6 more this year. So it's a blessing to be in this community and this group of young men. It doesn't come easy at all, but I'd rather have this challenge of continuing the success of winning than a different one. But I mean, we're at the top. We've been consistent as can be. 10 straight Thanksgivings. You know, people in, people out. People saying we can't win without Will, and I love Will to death, but we can win. These kids know how to win. We have a good football team. We got great players, and we got a great core. And I think in high school, if you have that great core, you sprinkle in a couple top tier players, I think that's a formula of success. And when your top guys are the most unselfish guys, that says a lot. I mean, Keenan could have broke the county record with 3 receptions there late in the game tonight, and you know, I think deep down he probably wanted it, but you know, the game was out of hand, and you know, he's got the yardage, but he knew. And when Tyler and him come to you and say, keep pounding that thing these last 3 weeks, you know it's a special group. So yeah, Weddington's a special place, a special community, and as long as these kids keep playing as hard as they can for this community, man, we're excited for the future.
All right, guys, we appreciate your time. Congratulations. Go celebrate.